Oh yeah, it's your boy Livewire, and I'm back in the motherfucking building, baby. So it's probably been long overdue, but today I wanted to talk about, basically why I got into gaming and shit like that, So shit, I've been gaming since I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. I used to game on an old ass PC. Well, it wasn't old at the time; it was actually new. But back in the day when PC was all in one, like there was no standalone monitor, like not even the big bulky shit. There was like I think it was a 9-inch monitor, and it was built into the actual fucking computer. Like that's what the fuck I used to game on for my first video games. So we used to play bowling and fucking Space Invaders on that shit. And then after that, my grandmother got us what did she get? She got us ColecoVision, so we played on that shit, where you played pretty much the same shit except for it was in color instead of fucking. Well, the monitor we had wasn't black and white. It was like it's like teal and white or tan and white, some shit like that. It was either like some greenish color or some brownish color. I can't remember which one it was because she had like 2 computers, but I don't remember which one she gave us. But yeah, man. Then we rocked out with ColecoVision, which was weird because it was like cartridges, not quite floppy disks. I don't know. It was just weird, man. Because it wasn't really a console. It was like a cheap computer. Basically, that's what it was. Like, so if you couldn't afford no fucking computer, you rocked out on that dumb shit. So we had that shit, and then what the fuck? Then I got Nintendo. I was like 10, 11, some shit like that. I paid for half, so I used to work a paper route. So I did my paper route, got up to like $50, and then my mom's. She put in the other 50, and then she bought me, got me Nintendo for Christmas. So, and shit, when I got Nintendo, literally all I had was the double game of Mario and Duck Hunt. That's what the fuck we rocked out on for like the longest. Cause like back when I was a kid, we wasn't getting games like just to get games. Like I don't think I got my next game until fucking probably next Christmas or my birthday or some shit like that. Damn, I don't even remember getting that many Nintendo games, to be honest, because we ain't had money like that. So I think I had that. I had the Wolverine or some shit like that. Fuck, what else did I have? I think we had Zelda with the gold cartridge. Fuck, what else we have? Other than that, I don't. You know what? To be honest, I don't really remember too many games that I played on Nintendo like that. Because by the time I got it, that shit wasn't even popping like that no more. Cats was starting to go into Sega. But I did not sell it, though. That was the one thing I didn't do. So I think maybe 13, 14 years old. That's when I got Sega Genesis. Because I remember playing the Sega Master System at my boy's house. He had that shit. And he had everything. Like, he had all the fucking games. He had Nintendo. He had all the shit that went with Sega, the Sega Genesis. He had the Sega Genesis, the 3D, the 3X, or whatever the fuck that shit was. CD. He had all that shit. Yeah, so, when he got Sega Genesis, I was like, oh shit, I gotta get Sega. They got Sonic, that shit's dope. I think the last game I got for Nintendo was probably Mario 3. Because after I was done with that shit, Sonic was popping, so I was like, oh shit, I gotta get Sega. Actually, he had a Super Nintendo too, but we didn't really play it like that. Because, like, when I was a kid, like, fucking, Sega was, like, kind of like the hardcore, like, Sega is what Xbox is, like, Nintendo was kind of like, more, like, it had more games, but, like, Sega was more like, alright, you're gonna get, like, those more mature type games, like Mortal Kombat and Beastmaster and shit like that. I mean, Ultra Beast. So, like, that's the type of shit we fucking gravitated towards. And they had, I think, was it Joe Montana football and shit like that, so we used to play that shit. So, yeah, man, then I went from there to, I went from Sega Genesis to, what was that? Sega Saturn. I remember getting that shit just for X-Men Children of the Atoms. That shit was my shit. That was when I was really into fighting games. So I had that. I had Virtual Fighter. I had fucking Knights. I had what else did I have for that shit? I had Code Veronica for that shit. Resident Evil. I had some other. Nah, that wasn't out there. I'm trying to remember. Cause that shit was crazy. Like Sega said, oh damn, what was the name of that game? Fighting Vipers. I had that shit. Like I used to play mad fighting games. So, I had mad games for the Sega Saturn actually. Even though they didn't have a lot of great games, I had a lot of games for it. And then they just like discontinued the shit. So I was like, fuck. So I'm like, alright, what am I gonna do now? So then that's when I got introduced to Sony because like Sega fucked up. Nintendo, they had Nintendo. I think like the Super Nintendo had been out for a while. Nintendo 64 hadn't dropped yet, and we rocked out with the Sega, the Sega for the longest. I think for that shit, I had like Game Day and NBA Live and I forget the Star Wars. What was it called? The Netaro Fighter or some kind of like Star Wars something fighters. It was like a fighting game. And shit was alright. It wasn't great, but it was alright. I had Tekken, Ridge Racer, what else did we have? Siphon Filter, Metal Gear Solid. That was the only actual Metal Gear Solid I liked. I played the second one, I thought it was shit, and then I jumped off that bandwagon. What else did I play? Trying to remember. Let me see. Damn. I can't remember, man. I can't remember what else I had for PlayStation, the original PlayStation. Because then after that, we fucked with I think I was just about to go into college. So, and we decided we were gonna get Nintendo 64 because we didn't even. The crazy thing is we got Nintendo 64, but we had Mario with it. I think that shit came with it, but we didn't even really fuck with that shit like that. We were really playing like GoldenEye, like hardcore. That was the only shit we were playing on it. So, I got that. I had that, and I think I maybe for like a year, and then I went off to school. So when that shit happened, then I was like, all right, shit, what am I gonna do? We got this shit, and I heard Sega Saturn. I heard about the Sega Dreamcast because I was still a fucking big Sega fan, but they just, fucking Saturn just was, it wasn't popping like that. They only made games that came out in Japan, and one, I don't like those games, and two, I wasn't fucking trying to import those shit. So I was like, all right, cool. Sega Dreamcast is coming out, and I'll fucks with that. Now, mind you, at all this time, I played sports games, but I wasn't a sport fan. I didn't really fuck with like basketball and football like that. I played it because my friends did, but that wasn't really my shit. Like I was much more of an action adventure. I played Tomb Raider or some shit like that versus that. But then Sega came out, and they came out with, and they had what did I get? I got fucking Sega Rally. I got Soul Calibur. What's that other game? NBA 2K, NFL 2K. I think that was it for the long and Sonic Adventures. That's what it was. So I had those games, man. Played the shit out of those games. Love fucking Sonic Adventures. That was my shit. That was probably my favorite Sonic game of all time. Sonic Adventures. And then and like NFL, like to me, that was the shit that like NFL 2K and NBA 2K, like those games, like they didn't have the same presentation as fucking Madden and Live at that time, but the game mechanics were so much better. They were so much better. Like, because a lot of times people were like, it's almost like the difference between like PlayStation and Xbox. As far as like the games I like on Xbox, they might not always be as polished as the ones on PlayStation. Like maybe like the games are a little bit prettier on PlayStation because they focus heavy on graphics, but the fucking gameplay was way better. Like that's why the fucking whatchamacallit suffered. Like they like the Order. They tried to make it like Gears, but the gameplay wasn't there. It was fucking pretty though. It was a pretty game, but it just wasn't fun to play. And I think that's the shit that people kind of lose with the whole like just looking for photorealistic graphics. Like don't get me wrong, I like a fucking pretty game, but if it doesn't have anything behind it, what is it really? Like it's only but so long you could look at that shit and be like, oh shit, that's amazing. Because after the first 10-15 minutes of saying, oh shit, that's amazing, you're gonna be like, well, damn, why the fuck does this game play like this? Not unless you're a person that solely cares about how a game looks and you really don't care about the game mechanics. And there's people out there that are like that. They don't give a fuck how a game plays as long as it looks good. That's all they care about, because to them it's all about come over here and look at my game. They just want to show off their games to their friends. Like like Drive Club. Drive Club looks good, but when you play it, it plays like shit. But it looks good. So like if somebody is a friend and comes over and says, oh shit, that game looks hot, they're not gonna know it's shit because they're probably not playing it like that. Like most people come to your house, they're not playing for like fucking 3, 4, 5 hours straight, so they're not really getting a full understanding of what the game is. Not until they take that bitch home and realize, like, man, this shit ain't what I thought it was. Fuck, I got screwed. But it is what it is. Like, to be honest, and I'll get back to my list, but like to be honest with the photorealism shit, like really think about it. When you go to a movie, you don't be like, oh man, this movie is fucking awesome because the cinematography is fucking off the chain. Like, no, if it's not funny or if it's not interesting, doesn't matter how good the movie looks. You don't give a fuck about that shit. Unless you're like somebody who's like a film buff and only cares about cinematography or only cares about costumes, be like, man, that movie was ass, but them costumes were amazing. I gotta own this movie. Like, no. That shit does not happen like that. Nobody goes out to pays like, goes out to see a movie 5, 6, 7, 8 times because they were like, man, I know, man, this movie is shitty as hell, but that cinematography, it's fucking amazing. Like, no, nobody does that shit. And that's the funny thing that I always see with these PlayStation guys try to argue and be like, well, this game looks good, but it's not fun. Well, how do you know it's not fun? Blah, blah, blah. Dude, the game ain't fun. I don't give a fuck how it looks. Is it fun? What does that matter? It looks better. I'm like, whatever. Put my hands up. Whatever, dude. Fucking do you. If you want to fucking play a boring game, that's on you. But anyway, back to my list. So, yeah, so I had this Sega Saturn. I rocked out with that shit. And then the same thing basically happened to not Sega Saturn. I had the Sega Dreamcast. And the same thing happened to the Sega Dreamcast that happened to my Sega Saturn. They fucking stopped making games for that bitch. So I was like, fuck. What I'm gonna do? So PlayStation 2 was out at the time. And my friend already had it. So, I kind of played it. But I was like, alright, it is what it is. I don't know. I already had a PlayStation. And I wasn't impressed with it when I had it. I mean, it was kind of like a means to an end. It had games. I like playing games. But I just wasn't, I don't know what it was about the PlayStation. I just didn't, I don't know. I never really fucked with it like that. Like, the games that people said they liked on it, I didn't even fuck with. Like, everybody was like, yo, Final Fantasy is amazing and da-da-da-da. And I look at this shit and I'd be like, what is this shit? Like, I don't want to fucking chase princesses no more. Like Siphon Filter was cool, shit like that, but, I don't know, man. It was just something about that console, man. I wasn't fucking with it like that. I mean, some people were. I just preferred, Sega. I really did, man. I just thought it was better to me. I even liked, Nintendo, because after Dreamcast kind of died, we kind of fucked around with the GameCube for a little bit. My brother had that shit. But see, he's from a different generation, so he played like, I don't even know the name of his fucking games. Like that weirdo shit fucking PlayStation dudes play. He played that shit on fucking GameCube. Like some turn-based, like, JRPGs. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, son, what is this shit? I get the Pokemon shit. I tried playing it for like maybe 30 minutes. And I was just like, yeah, this ain't for me. I was like, this shit is boring as fuck. I don't give a fuck about none of these characters. Like, I don't give a shit. This shit don't appeal to me. So, when Xbox came out, which obviously it came out before GameCube, but when that shit came out, I think what really drew me to it was, it wasn't even Halo. That was the funny part. Like, Halo was a big game, but that shit wasn't really why I got Xbox. It was because it was getting, what's the name of that? Dead or Alive. That's what I really wanted to get for that, and Project Gotham. So I was like, oh shit, they got a new racer, and I think I had seen the trailer. It hadn't come out yet, but I saw the trailer for Splinter Cell. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta get this game. Because that's the thing that really was missing from PlayStation, like a game like Splinter Cell. That, because they had Metal Gear, so they weren't gonna champion Splinter Cell. But to me, I just wanted something more realistic. That's the thing that really turned me off from the first, like, when I was younger, Metal Gear was okay, because I was still, like, in that kiddie shit. So, Metal Gear with the fucking random people with powers and fighting people, like, and doing dumb shit like that, that shit was cool to me at the time. But as I got older, doing, like, when the shit don't fit in the world, it just, I don't know, I just didn't like it, man. Yeah, but, so Splinter Cell was just more of my shit, man, so that's why I was just kind of gravitating towards Xbox. So, I basically, got all the games I wanted, and it was funny because one of the games I wanted wasn't available. I think it was Dead or Alive. I think that was the one that wasn't available. So I was like, fuck, what am I gonna get? And the dude was like, well, you can play Halo. And I'm like, nah, what the fuck I want to play Halo? What the fuck is a Halo? He was like, yo, dude, this game is like the best game ever. I'm like, alright, I guess so. Because mind you, back then I wasn't really on the internet looking for game shit. I knew a little bit. I think, did I have game? I mean, I had game magazines here and there, like, if I saw it in the store, but I wasn't, like, fucking, like, searching for it, and the internet wasn't as big, shit was clunky as hell. Interface wasn't all that at the time. It was getting there, but it wasn't, like, things just weren't as easy, to maneuver. So you weren't really jumping from site to site. You had to be a little bit more precise in what you were looking for. So yeah, man, I got Halo, and that shit was all she wrote, man. We fell in love. Like, I bought the shit. My friends, they were like, damn, dude going to drop like $300 on a console. He wildin'. And I was like, yeah, man, I got to get this shit. So the funny thing is I bought it, I think, and I bought a second controller. No, you know what? I bought 2 controllers because I did have roommates. So, and the shit was so crazy, like with Halo, like people want to come over so bad just to play the game that we wound up going out and getting a 4th controller. And man, Cass would just wreck shop for hours on end, man. Hours on end. Actually, you know what? I think I bought some of those sports titles too. It was like Inside Drive or some shit like that. And I forget what the name of the football is. Damn, what was that shit called? Gridiron or some shit. It was like some game where Vince Carter was on the cover of it, and the other game Peyton Manning was on the cover of it. Those games were fucking horrible. Like, they looked better than like live in 2K, like graphically. They were like cleaner, but the fucking art direction was weird as fuck. Like, everybody was like fucking on roids, and their animations were weird. It was just fucking weird. And you gotta remember, I'm coming from NBA 2K, NFL 2K, so to go from that to fucking, that shit, I was just like, what the fuck is this? So I was mad as hell sitting there waiting. And you gotta remember, like, PlayStation they didn't have 2K either at the time, because it was still known to be like a Sega shit. So Sega, when they dropped it, they actually dropped 2K on PlayStation 2 first, and then it came to Xbox later. So I think we had live. Did we have live? I think live came to Xbox first, like live and Madden and shit. I think that shit came. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think that shit came to Xbox before the other shit came to Xbox, man. But yeah, man, I was just a huge fan of 2K, man. So once that shit dropped, man, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. But yeah, after that, man, I never looked back. Because Xbox just, to me, it was just doing better shit. Like, you could listen to music, you had a hard drive. Like, PlayStation wasn't doing none of that shit. You can get online. And for the longest, I didn't want to get online. It wasn't until really the 360 up where I became, like, that's when I started playing online. But, like, before that, like, they hyped it up. Every time you go to get a game or whatever, they be like, oh, okay, you can go online to go, you could play this game online. I'm like, I don't know about that shit. I just wasn't interested in doing it. Even when Halo 2 was out, I still didn't do it. Because, I was in college and all my friends were there, so I didn't need to. We pretty much just did LAN parties, But it wasn't until basically we all pretty much graduated, and that's when I was like, all right, let me get this Xbox Live. And that shit was all she wrote, man. It was all she wrote. Fucking best decision I ever made, man. $60. Well spent. For me. I mean, I can't speak for everybody else. I mean, I remember for the longest people were like, why would you spend 60? You can fucking play PlayStation online where you're fucking, like the character, the shit was night and day, man. The funny thing about it is, like, cats on PlayStation didn't know how bad that shit was until they went to somebody's house that had Xbox. Like, that shit is the funniest shit ever. Be like, damn, man, that game looks alright. What you doing? I'm playing online. I'm like, you playing online? I'm like, yeah, I'm playing online. You don't play online? Hell no, that shit is terrible. Fucking play online on PlayStation. Fucking dude is like glitching all over the place. Be like, god damn. Like, you got the rough life, son. You gotta make up for fucking cheating because motherfuckers know that their service is shit versus yours, so they're fucking like, skipping all over the place, and you think you shot him and you didn't, and dude fucking behind you. This shit is fucking horrible, man. That shit used to be horrible, especially playing Call of Duty. That shit was the worst on fucking PlayStation. Oh man, that shit was bad. But yeah, man, yeah, me personally, I just only fuck with Xbox. My brother, he still rocked out on PlayStation because he liked games like Kingdom Hearts and shit like that. And my little brother, he just gave up on games altogether because after the Nintendo, well, no, he didn't give up on. He gave up on console gaming. He was just like strictly on. I think after his GameCube, he was just on the DS. So that's all he did. Fucking Game Boy. He did all the Game Boy Advances, and then he went to the DS. So that's pretty much it. I don't even think he played games at all at this point. But yeah, man. That's pretty much what it is. Xbox dude at first sit down with the game, man. It was just fucking amazing. That Duke controller was big as fuck, though. I'll tell you that much. Damn, you could knock the shit out of a motherfucker with that shit. You're like, that shit is fucking huge, yo. But yeah, man. Like, fucking great memories, man. Great memories. I don't know, man. Like I think the biggest issues that we have as far as like the difference between people and what they like as far as the consoles is, PlayStation is a younger generation. They grew up with like they like Kingdom Hearts and fucking Tales of whatever the fuck. Like they like that shit. I don't give two shits about it, but they really like that shit. Like they like more JRPGs and because they like Pokemon and shit like that. Shit, I mean, to be honest, like if they took away the games I liked, I probably wouldn't play shit. Like if they were like, guess what, we're not making Halo no more Gears, no more Tomb Raider, no more fucking Forzas or GTAs or fucking any of the shit you like. We're just making fucking these weirdo indies and fucking JRPGs. I probably would have gave up on gaming a long time ago, and it's just God honest truth, man. But I think that what you have is you have a lot of people who are it's gamers divided because we're not really the same. It's like jocks versus geeks, but the difference is jocks picked up controllers. You're playing against guys that are introverts. Their world was the internet. They were on this shit before the shit was popping to be on it, right? And then the internet blew up, so now everybody's on the shit. So these motherfuckers from the PlayStation PC side feel like you're infiltrating their world because they were here first, and that's why their voices are the loudest because they're more committed to being heard on it. Because most of the people that buy or like Xbox, they don't really give a fuck about talking shit on the internet. They don't. They really don't even pay attention to the fucking comments from IGN or any of these places because they don't even go there. They don't even know they exist. They really don't. They go to the store. They know Xbox because they liked Halo, so they fucking pick it up. And they be like, you got a Halo? Oh, a new Halo came out? Oh, I'll pick it up. That's what they do. Oh, a new Gears of War came out? Okay, they go pick it up. That's what they do. They're not in this fucking, back and forth with PlayStation dudes because most of them just don't know. And most of them, even more so than that, don't really give a fuck. Which is pretty much where I stood like maybe a year ago. Until I did a review. Well, I didn't do a review. I was looking for reviews on, damn, what game was that? I think it wasn't Halo, because it was way before that. I'm trying to remember. It was some game. I can't fucking remember. But I was looking for reviews on a Xbox game. I was just like, damn. I just typed in Xbox. And it was just like, Xbox sucks, Xbox sucks. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? What is all this shit? Mad Cats was just hating on that shit. I'm like, god damn. Like, why the fuck motherfuckers hating on Xbox? What the fuck? Because you gotta remember, like not every, like I watched the reveals for Xbox and I watched the reveals for PlayStation, but I didn't go into the comment section or none of that shit. I just watched the reveal. It was like, oh, okay, that's what they got. Okay, that's what they got. Okay, cool. Then I talked to my cousin. I was like, yo, what you gonna get? He was like, Xbox, bro. We do Xbox because Halo and all that shit. And I'm like, word. We would thought about PlayStation, and we said, okay, yeah, like maybe a year or two after we get the PlayStation, we rock out on that together. But we, shit just, the only reason why we didn't is because PlayStation they just didn't do shit. There's no reason for me to get it because the games that I want to play on PlayStation, they don't have, So, for me, they're going to just champion multiplats. I might as well just fucking rock out with Xbox. It's just, especially the online ones, they're just better. But, so, it's just, I don't know, man. The generation is just so weird. Because I do remember reading, like, the media is what fucking changed, though. That's the shit that's weird. Like, even though I never read the comment section for, not until pretty much this generation after having my eyes open to, like, all this fucking hate on YouTube. And motherfuckers just get on there and hate just to hate. Like, motherfuckers would be like, I hate the fucking cord on the Xbox. I'm like, god damn, the cord? Damn, that's fucking crazy, bruh. It's the cord? You don't like the cord? I don't like this motherfucker. Too goddamn long. I could trip over this shit at night. I'm like, damn. This shit is crazy, man. But, like, that's the type of shit you dealing with like, this shit is fucking crazy. Like, these motherfuckers are just angry. And, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a younger generation. It's partially PC shit. PC guys, they always have issues with Xbox because they tried to get them to tried to charge them to play online, or charge for some shit. I don't know. Like, that's a whole nother super geek type world over there. Like, you got PC guys that just play PC because they're like, oh, the games look dope, I just want to play PC. And then you got PC guys that are like super sensitive. Like, they're like, oh my god, I can't believe that these fucking nerds. Like, they're a bunch of whiny bitches. Like, they just whine about every little thing. You know, they're kind of like the super critics. You'd be like, oh my god, I like the PC version is better, but if I gotta choose, I'll choose the PlayStation version, because on the PlayStation version, it has this extra piece of dust right there. You see it? It's on his shoulder. It's extra dust, and Microsoft doesn't have it. So no, I give the win to fucking PlayStation. Like, it's shit like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's super geeked out, man. It's just crazy. It's the funniest shit ever, man. I don't fucking get it. But yeah, man. Like I said before, man. You know, I appreciate y'all coming to my channel, man. Much love. You know, shout out to my boys. You know, PTK, Tim Dog, you know, all the great podcasts out there, TXR Podcast, Gamer Knows Best, fucking Rand doing his thing, man. Yeah, man, just much love. Showstopper and all the, you know, BGST. Yeah, man, I enjoy it all, man. I'll talk about, I was going to do some shit, like, kind of like my thoughts on podcast on this side of YouTube, but I'm gonna save that for another one, because, you know, it's kind of up there right now. I'm getting up in there in the minutes. So, you know, I just want to say, man, much love and thanks, man. Thanks for checking me out. And I'm out this bitch, baby.
Jersey say, wild the fuck out, smoke the fuck out, drink the fuck out, freak the fuck out, bug the fuck out, scream the fuck out, black the fuck out, act the fuck out. Do you feel it in your body? Shake your snake. Do you feel it in your body? Shake your snake.